Hey guys, welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja. And we've got a fun and exciting episode for you guys today. Okay guys, it's just the normal weekly news video because it is the weekend and we're going to be taking a look at FPGA gaming to begin with, and then we're going to move over to some random and retro gaming stuff to finish up the video. Now timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. If you wish to support the channel further, you can become a YouTube member, or even better, sign up to my Patreon. As well as that, guys, don't forget to check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, Zaparoo. Actually, it's called Zaparoo. It's awesome. It lets you do a lot of stuff with NFC. Seriously, the project is awesome. And finally, guys, don't forget to check out Free Play City, London's best arcade. What a way to begin the weekend, and JT Fridays always make my weekend super special, but this one is even more super special. Should I call it super duper special? Yes, let's call it super duper special, and the reason for that is this game here, Clockwork Aquario. So this was a game that was scrapped. It was being made and it's very much so complete, but then it got scrapped because fighting games were more popular at the time. But what's really happened over here, this is a community effort. This is running on the JT SEGA System 18 core, and guys, it's a fantastic game. So O.M.A.Hei-Long has done the brunt of the work. Terminator 2K2 wrote the MRA, and Video Game Esoterica had some input in getting this out there as well. So an absolutely amazing community effort which has gotten us this game. What usually happens is games are available on software emulators such as MAME. You can play them on like Final Burn Neo, and then we get FPGA cores, which usually happens to be my favorite way of playing these games once they're available on devices such as the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket. In the case of Clockwork Aquario, it's been made available for the MiSTer FPGA and the Analogue Pocket, and it will come to MAME, but it's amazing that we've got it on FPGA first. I wonder if we're going to find more kind of lost games that people have forgotten about coming to FPGA first and then coming to MAME, but this is absolutely amazing, guys. Play this game out now. It is a side scroller. You can pick out of a male character, a female character, and a robot. All the footage that you're seeing here, I captured myself on the Analogue Pocket, and once I kind of get my video down and I've got a little bit of downtime, I do want to play this game because yes, I like the SEGA System 18 and I love side scrollers. So guys, definitely check this out this weekend. Guys, I'm a sucker for preservation, but guess what? Being completely honest here, if I was in the arcade and this game was there, where's Wally, where's Waldo, I would not put my money in that game to try it out. And I don't think that's changed today. Mind you, the arcades today, you don't put money in, you're paying admission, all the machines are free. But guys, this is a game on the SEGA System 18, so you can grab this now. And it's pretty much Where's Wally as I knew it in the UK. In the USA or other countries, it was called Where's Waldo. It's like the book, where you open the book and you have to find Wally. And in this game here, he moves around, so he might be in one place, but he will move around dynamically, and you've got to find him. It's not like the book where you can stare at it all day looking for him. You have a time limit. As well as that, there are some spot the different stages in here to add a bit of variety. You play it with a trackball and a single button. I guess an interesting concept. Maybe I should try it out and reserve my judgment, but it's not really my arcade style of game because I prefer jumping on things, shooting things, Hadoukening things, not really the hidden object type. But hey, it's great to get this preserved in FPGA on the JT SEGA System 18 core. The footage that you're seeing here is on the MiSTer FPGA, but naturally it's available for the Analogue Pocket as well. A core that we are so looking forward to, and it's my most anticipated core, the CPS3 core. I got into MiSTer FPGA, it's no secret, because of CPS2. I mean, there's lots of other stuff that I like on the MiSTer FPGA, but CPS2 is what made me go, yes, I want to get myself a MiSTer FPGA. Now, we know O.M.A.Hei-Long and his team intend to release a CPS3 core, and we got a little bit of a rough roadmap as to the steps that are going to be taken before CPS3 development begins. So a little bit of bad news here, but it hasn't been cancelled or anything, guys, so it's not like major bad news. It is just a delay, and delays are almost inevitable in everything that concerns retro gaming. If I've learned one thing, it's that delays are pretty much there all the time. So the first game that Harringay and his team needed to tackle was Golfing Greats. Now that got released, you can enjoy that right now. It's available as a beta core. And after that was tackled, it was going to be Run and Gun. That's what the team intend to release next. Some of what they will learn while developing Run and Gun, stuff like new frame buffer techniques would be used for CPS3 as well. But Run and Gun has proven to be a lot more work than they anticipated, and they are using a lot of vertex reverse engineering work, and some of that reverse engineering work is very, very much so in depth. We're talking about 54 pages at A3 of like information on a custom chip or different custom chips. So Harringay and his team are on there. So remember guys, when we see Run and Gun, we are definitely a step closer to CPS3, something I'm really looking forward to. Stay tuned, naturally I'll keep you updated, but just to kind of point out here, like we kind of first said on the channel, that we are expecting a beta release of CPS3 in the month of October. That unfortunately isn't going to happen. Yeah, stay tuned and I'll keep you guys posted. Cowabunga peeps, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. This game has received an update. So this was released as a beta, I believe 2 weeks ago by Harringay and his team, but there were some issues with the graphics and the sound. It looks like those issues have been resolved yet. I haven't gone through the game to test it out myself, so do let me know if everything is 100% fixed or if there still are some issues, but there are improvements. But yeah, in the latest Patreon post, Harringay does point out specifically verbatim here, fixed graphic problem and sound problem in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Turtles Tit. Takiuron shows us this 8 bits but plenty of case colors. This here is an upcoming NES FPGA console, a NES MiSTer. Not sure what the name is going to be. I know the PlayStation 1 is a SuperStation One. Maybe Nester, like MiSTer. Maybe. If you can think of a better name, post it in comments. Who knows? Maybe Takiuron will look at it and go, yeah, that's what we are going to call it. But this is really interesting over here because over here on the left hand side we can see part of the controller port for a NES. So just like the SuperStation One where you can plug in PlayStation controllers as snack, I'm sure this one will have NES controllers as snack. Over here we can see like the light, the power light, and over here we can see part of the power button. So this is something we're definitely very, very excited about. Takiuron has released the MiSTer Pies, which I have one. Fantastic. Looking forward to the SuperStation One, and I guess once the SuperStation One is out there, it's been shipped, then Taki is going to move over to this. And what was interesting was a while ago, July the 7th, Taki showed this. All you need are 8 bits. Our hardware intern has been working on a cool project that is almost done, and it kind of showed it off over here. So you can see that. You can see the NES ports here, the power, the reset button, the light. So something to look forward to. FPGA gaming is definitely getting interesting. We're getting kind of like dedicated consoles like the M64, the Analogue 3D that are upcoming iterations of the, FPGA iterations of the Nintendo 64, and Taki in the meantime looks like he's going to move over to the NES. But what's going to be interesting is if it's a MiSTer and it's running all the MiSTer cores, the way the SuperStation One runs CDs from different systems like the Sega Saturn, the Mega CD, is this gonna run different cartridges as well as the NES via some kind of adapter, or maybe, I don't know, not exactly sure how, but maybe some kind of adapter. It makes sense. You can run your SNES, your Nintendo 64, your Mega Drive, your Game Boys, your Game Gear cartridges. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this, what we'll get. So yeah, watch this space. It's been a big week for the SuperStation One. Now, there's been lots and lots of great news. Takiuron and his team at Retro Remake are kind of going above and beyond. They're adding a lot of quality of life improvements, and it looks like they're going to be giving that streamlined experience for the MiSTer FPGA console, because it is a MiSTer, but hey, you can package things differently to make it more user-friendly. So that's what Taki's going for. So there's lots and lots of great news, but what we're going to do is we're going to start with I wouldn't exactly call this bad news, a little bit of a hurdle. So what Takiuron is saying here, it's been a few months and I have a new update on SuperStation One disk reading. We ended up improving disk reading to be on par with loading from an SD in almost all CD cores. So that means you're loading something directly from a disk. You're not ripping it, you are playing it directly from the disk, and it is as fast as an SD card. I mean, that's very, very impressive. But this part over here, I feel for Taki on this one, because all CD cores except PS1 indistinguishable from SD. So that means the SuperStation One, which is based around, inspired by a PlayStation 1, some games get 1 or 2 seconds of slowdown roughly every 10 minutes. It's not every game out there, it's a few limited games. However, it does kind of suck because some people wanted to run stuff on there. You're gonna get that a little bit slow. And it says PS1 edge cases where a game can be 1% slower. Now, do keep in mind, guys, you can dump your game. You can run games directly off the SD card. You can dump your own game, or you can acquire a collection online. So this is only if you're directly playing from CD. Now, they may be able to get around this by doing a fork of the MiSTer's Linux backend, but that may bring problems in and of itself. And the reason for that is the ARM side on the MiSTer FPGA is rather, well, let's say it's not the strongest out there, and it's not capable enough in some cases to stream all the data that's required for some specific PlayStation 1 games. Is it a deal breaker? Well, no, because the Founders Edition was 150. You can order it right now for 200. What you are getting on there is freaking amazing, absolutely amazing. So let's go over to the next one. So over here, Takulan here says, the SuperStationOne looks beautiful. Now there's a post over on Metal Game Solid where I've kind of like taken pictures of each side, or stills of each side. We've had a look at that. We've named every single port, every single thing that you can actually see on this, whether it's composite, component, S-Video, VGA, HDMI, power, reset, everything is just out there. But I have to say, this looks really, really good. And the Founders Edition PCB, which is that light colored PCB, it just looks so darn good through that shell. So if you want to see what every single port is, including that connector for the super dock at the bottom, ports at the front, check out Metal Game Solid, and yeah, have a look at what each one is. Just goes through a written breakdown. I did a video on there, but I made a mistake in the video. Someone pointed that out. That mistake has been corrected on Metal Game Solid, but it's a little bit harder to fix in the video. Let's have a look at the next one over here. So what's this here? The white PCB makes the color pop. It really does. I think it looks really, really good. There was a time where I was like, I liked everything dark and black, but recently I've been buying lighter machines. I don't know what changed this trend, but whenever there was a console out and it was a black and white version, I always bought the black version. Most recently I've been buying the white ones. I don't know what caused it to shift, but this on the whole part does look really, really good. So, you know, well done from Taki and his team. Now to have a look at some of the questions members of the community have asked, and it says, so this is in regard to this video up here. So, looks great. What do the dip switches on the side do? A possible toggle between 18 24-bit DAC for maximum MiSTer core compatibility. Taki responds to that. They control CVBS settings. So there you go. If you had that question, there's your answer. And another question here. Why is there a composite input and a component input? Can't the component work as both? And Taki says, these are both outputs and they work simultaneously. So that's kind of interesting. So does that mean I can like output to HDMI and to component and to composite at the same time? So I can have two analog displays out and I can have one digital. So that's 3 simultaneous displays, or he's saying like dual display there. So I wonder, can you do dual analog, or can you do dual analog and one digital, or only one analog, one digital? Not exactly sure. Do let me know. Like, always educate me on this stuff, guys, because I do these videos, but sometimes I don't know all the big ins and outs. But the fact that Taki's saying, yeah, they're both outputs and they work simultaneously, and he's asking about 2 analog inputs, makes me think you can output it to 2 analog displays. Maybe Taki mentioned something about that previously. I can't remember. There's always a lot of data that's in my head, and just like a good Windows PC, every so often the recycle bin kicks in and it permanently deletes everything. But yeah, it's been a big week for the SuperStationOne. Some really, really good stuff. Nice to see that's very, very close. And by the way, guys, the side panels are going to have a cover on there, so they won't always be exposed, so you can have it looking a little bit neater. But yeah, on the whole, it's coming really, really nice. It should be shipping, from what I understand, within the next couple of weeks for the Founders Edition. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on one of these devices so I can run tests for you guys and we can do live streams as we normally do. Anyway, SuperStationOne looking good. As I was about to sit in the studio, when I say the studio, it's the corner in my bedroom, but gotta sound professional. So Anime Otaku did this article on Zaparoo, and it sounds really, really interesting. Now guys, I love the Zaparoo project, but as I work in the corner of my bedroom, I don't have like a big front room with a massive setup, so I don't usually set it up because it's actually easier for me to press a menu. But Zaparoo is amazing. If you've got like an arcade machine or a setup, use it. Use the NFC to launch stuff, but I like the extra options Wizzo is adding onto it now. So over here, Anime Otaku's written based on what Wizzo is sharing, The next Zaparoo release will introduce a reader drive capable of recognizing almost any mass storage device as a token. This means that SD cards, USB sticks, and external drives will soon function similarly to NFC cards, allowing users to launch games or media automatically when plugged in. And let's have a look. I think Wizzo's got something here on his page. So essentially what that means is you can put a token on there, like this one over here. I think he's showing launching like a random Mega Drive game. So you can put a you can put something on there. Every time you plug in that USB stick, it will automatically launch whatever you want. And in this case, just a random Mega Drive game. So a good way to kind of launch stuff if you don't have an NFC reader. Everyone's got like a memory stick kicking around, right? So you can use that to launch stuff. So if you've got your setup in your front room, I'd recommend using like a USB extension cable like Wizzo is over here. You know, you don't want to exhaust your USB ports on your device by pulling it out and stick it in all the time. Even though pulling things out and sticking them back in can be fun sometimes. But yeah, you want to get yourself an extension lead, plug it in there, and it will launch a random game or whatever you want. But I do like the direction the Zaparoo project is going in. It's always innovating, adding new features, and it's always nice to see what other people do with it. So Zaparoo kind of make the software, introduce these features, and people really put them to some really imaginative solutions out there. So I look forward to see what people do with this. But yeah, absolutely amazing from the Zaparoo team. This is something that we were having a look at during the week, and it's a case for the cancelled SEGA Neptune. And what's ironic over here is this is a SEGA Neptune case being designed for the MiSTer FPGA, which didn't quite cross the finishing line. It hasn't seen the light of day, just like the original project from SEGA themselves. So what's interesting is, as far as the SEGA Neptune goes, DivizX actually made a case for the SEGA Neptune that you can build yourself using a PCB as well as components from a Mega Drive and a 32X, making your very own Neptune. So this is an interesting case. Not sure if this will ever get released, but it would be really nice if it does. And this is a Neptune case for the MiSTer FPGA. It will definitely make a great talking piece. You know, you have this, you've got Tap 2 integration in there, or sorry, now known as Zaparoo. Back then it was Tap 2. Remember the Tap 2 days, guys? No more, it is now Zaparoo. So yeah, you can have a nice MiSTer case, you can have your DE10 Nano in there, and it will just look nice, right? Like a cancelled SEGA console. You can play the 32X on the MiSTer FPGA. In fact, if I do a stream later, I am intending to do a 32X stream later on today. But yeah, this looks really good. So hopefully it will see the light of day. Maybe it won't, maybe it will, who knows? But either way, it's very interesting to look at even now. So yeah, certainly hope it does come. I think I would like to have a case like this. You remember this game? We had a look at this on the channel a little while ago, and this is Star Force. And with this, another game was working on this core called Baluba Luke no Densetsu. I'm glad it's written down there because there's no way I can remember that. So this was brought over by Analogue, a new developer to the MiSTer FPGA scene, and it was very welcome. Now, you have to install this manually. It isn't available via Update Tool, but the developer was speaking about getting this added to Update Tool, and I really hope it does, because I know a lot of people like this game, and a lot of people only get their games, especially their arcade games, via Update Tool. So if we have a look at their X account, I've translated this, so hopefully X has done a good job. So he says, come to think of it, MiSTer FPGA Star Force, during the time I left it pretty much untouched, there've been some opinions popping up like, why not just send a pull request to the official MiSTer? Maybe I should try writing up a simple instruction manual or something. At any rate, they don't seem to be any bug reports. Once it's finished, my interest just drops off at once. Okay, hopefully we see more calls from you. Now, I have reached out to this developer. I've given them the contacts for the MiSTer FPGA Discord server, the MiSTer forum. So hopefully when they get a bit of time, they can kind of liaise with the MiSTer development team or the MiSTer Devel and get this kind of added into the official repository. That means it will get pulled via Update Tool. I certainly hope it happens, because a lot of people really do like this game. Yeah, it's all about enjoying lots and lots of games. I found this game quite fun. The soundtrack was quite unique. You fight like letters at the end of the level. But when I did a video on this, so many people mentioned in the comments that this was their go-to game as a kid in the arcade. So we all have our favorite games. Not one of my favorite games because I never grew up playing it, but heck, a lot of people really do like this game. a system I'm not too familiar with, but the PCXT core for the MiSTer FPGA received an update, and this is an update via update tool because I am looking at the MiSTer FPGA forum, the update and changelog. Anything in here means it's available via update tool. So anytime anything gets pushed, it appears on here. So PCXT update MC-L86 to 10/4/2025 release by JS Molina. The impossible core for the Analogue Pocket, the PlayStation 1 core. Now likely this is never going to fit. Even when you're playing it now, you've got a very low frame rate and you have no sound and it cannot play movies, but this doesn't stop P-Gate 1 from trying and updating their core. A commendable effort, something that I enjoy checking out each and every time. So here they're saying PlayStation and FPGA fixed the instruction cache and added a texture cache, implemented SD-RAM burst transfer, improving the frame rate for games like Ridge Racer on Pocket from 8 to 12. So that's actually a 50% increase. Quick maths. So texture cache can be disabled with the select button. Over here, let's just press the translate button. PlayStation on FPGA, even if the frame rate improves a bit, there are many games that can't be played because movie skipping doesn't work properly in the first place. How about we tackle that area a bit? The movie decoding circuit won't be included anyway, so we'll put it off for later. I've actually got an article on Metal Game Solid which kind of goes through everything here in those tweets and kind of breaks it down. Honestly, absolutely amazing to see this running in any capacity on the Analogue Pocket. Do let me know in the comments if you want to see a live stream of the new update, but do be warned, games are going to run slow. Like Ridge Racer has gone from 8 to 12 seconds, 8 to 12 frames per second, where it usually runs at 60 FPS. But some of the 2D games kind of run okay. I don't think anything runs at full speed. I played Omega Boost and I was like, wow, this is running at full speed. It wasn't. It's just I'm older, it's slower, and when I'm playing it at a slower frame rate, it goes with my dinosaur age. But guys, this is a commendable effort. I'd love to see, or I'm looking forward to seeing how far P-Gate 1 actually takes this. So absolutely brilliant to check out. I love checking stuff out like this. The streams for this are difficult because there is no sound, so I literally have to chat non-stop to keep you guys entertained. But PlayStation on Analogue Pocket is a thing. You can download it, you can try this stuff out for yourself, but be warned, you are going to get a very subpar experience because of the limitations of the Analogue Pocket's FPGA. Some good news here with some updates to some light gun games, including this one here, Laser Ghost. The other ones that Hatego mentions are Bronx and another one called New York Captor or NY Captor. One of them is also known as Cycle Shooting, alternative names. So the good thing is, if you have an Analogue Pocket and say you don't have a dock and you wanted to play these games, you could not play them before. But now something has been implemented, and I think this is something that Terminator 2K2 helped Hatego with as well, which means you can now play these games on your Analogue Pocket using the D-pad. So you can control the crosshair with your D-pad. I know it's not the ideal way to play because these are light gun games, but hey, you can play it on your Analogue Pocket with a D-pad if you choose now. Just make sure you run the latest update, get the latest files and enjoy it on your Analogue Pocket. I get it, some people don't have a dock. In fact, I only bought a dock after I got my Analogue Pocket for the purpose of capturing video content. If I wasn't doing content, I would not get a dock for the Analogue Pocket because I have a MiSTer. That's my TV console. My Analogue Pocket is what I take on the go. But yeah, good news. Like to see these quality of life changes being implemented and offering all the different ways people can play games, even if they don't have all the different hardware that's available for a particular device. Some banging news. This is a developer that we've featured on the channel before. As well as that, they've been featured on Metal Game Solid, and we are talking about Bad Computers. So they did the game Frontier Force. Do you guys remember that? A Master System shmup, kind of Space Invadery, but with boss battles and stuff. Really, really good. They're currently working on a game called Raising Core, which reminds me of Gunhead, and I'm really looking forward to that. This guy is a Master System superstar. He's making stuff happen on this device, and it seems like, wow, it really, really pushes the Master System. Now, in order to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Sega Master System, or more specifically the Sega Mark III, or the Sega Master System, sorry, it's called the Mark III, the Sega Mark III, and they've released this game here called Astro Climber. You can grab this for free right now, I think via the itch.io page. Guys, it's just really good. Look at it. It just looks so much freaking fun. Just go up there, go up the level, dodge everything. You've got a harpoon. You need your wits, you need your reflexes about you. It's free, guys. It's free. You want to play this on your Master System via a flash card if you have it. If not, play it on your MiSTer. Play it on your Analog Pocket. I have to say, games like this are a very good fit on the Analog Pocket. Almost like pick up, play, die, rinse, repeat. So absolutely fantastic. Bad Computer, thank you so much for all that you do. It is freaking awesome. And this story here is, well, I was told about this from a buddy of mine called O.M.A.Hei just before I was about to shoot the video. And this is Outrun for the Amiga 1200. And quite frankly put, it looks fantastic as seen here in Saberman's video. Something that I would like to try out. Maybe you guys can try it out as well. There is a demo available. So good stuff. This site's really good as well. Indie Retro News. They do a lot of stuff here. I do check it out and I do get some stories from there. But O.M.A.Hei, thank you for sharing this with me. Everyone likes Outrun. And Amiga, do you remember back in the day, I think the Outrun version on the Amiga was terrible. Well, that has changed now. History can change. And now we have, look at that. It looks beautiful. A beautiful version of Outrun on the Amiga 1200. Night Striker gear. Guys, this just shadow dropped a few days ago on Steam and the Nintendo Switch, and it's been developed by M2. If you guys don't remember, there was an arcade game. Let's look at the original one here. It's Night Striker by Taito. Now, it kind of reminds me of Space Harrier, Afterburner, you know, those games here where you had that kind of viewpoint, you're moving around shooting stuff, and it just got shadow dropped. Now, I wasn't very familiar with the original arcade game. I played it more in emulation when trying stuff out as opposed to an original arcade machine, but what an amazing job from the guys. So it's available for Steam and it's also available for the Nintendo Switch. Let's see, there's a video down here. Let's play that. So this is really interesting. I want to send a special thank you out to Mario from over on the Mr. FPGA Discord server. When this dropped, they were like, hey Pixel, have you seen this? And they sent me a DM. Now, I have picked this up on the Switch, so I don't know if you guys want to see like a Switch stream where we go through retro and retro inspired games, a lot of 2D stuff and anything that's kind of like a remake or something. That, so do let me know because I do like doing them from time to time. But this does look fun. Yeah, Night Striker just dropped, and anything that M2 are involved in, all the ports that I've got of games that I liked growing up, the ones that are done by M2, all of them have been good. In particular, I really liked the original Castlevania Advance Collection. It actually became my go-to way of playing those Castlevania games for a period of time because yeah, they're that freaking good. But yeah, another look at the original here, guys. So Night Striker has been reinvented. We have a new version of it and it's available on Steam and the Nintendo Switch. Sometimes legends get interviewed, but sometimes a legend interviews a legend, and this is the case with this video, and I recommend watching it. So how ZSNES changed SNES emulation forever. So this is an interview with the creator of ZSNES by Zofa from Zofa's Domain. Absolute legends. Definitely watch this. They go through a lot of the early days of emulation, how they tackled issues, the net play. Very good. Do watch it. I've given like a brief overview of the interview that goes over some of the points, but you really do need to watch the interview. ZSNES was an early days emulator that was absolutely fantastic, and yeah, just an amazing video to watch. So recommendation here, check out Zofa's channel, subscribe to it. He does a lot of live streaming and just an all-around awesome guy. So guys, that wraps it up for this week. I really do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. Be freaking awesome to one another, guys. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.